Hello, this is me, Gyanis Thapa, serial number 20251029 from section A. So, today in this video, I'll be explaining the code structure and functionality of my browser based game called Snackman. This game is built by using HTML, CSS, and also JavaScript. I explain how the game grid works, how player movement and enemies are handled, how scoring and lives work, and how levels are managed, game configuration and variable. I'll start with game configuration. At the top of the JavaScript file, I define such as the grid size, an array of level colors, variable of scored lives, current level, and player name. These variables are stored all over the game state and allow the game to update dynamically while running. Using const for configuration makes the code easier to maintain. For example, changing the grid size or number of labels only requires changing one value instead of modifying the entire code. Grid level and system. The game uses a grid based system implemented using two-dimensional arrays. Each label is presented as an array where the number defines walls, empty spaces, player stating position, enemies, collectible items, power-ups, etc. When a level starts up, the grid is read. The game board is rendered dynamically using HTML elements. Each cell is styled based on its value. This approach allows multiple levels to be created easily without writing logic. Adding a new level only requires a new array. Now, player movement and control. In this player movement and control, I like to I have in this player movement and control, we have to control the player or the hero by using WASD to make the hero move around the screen. To check the wall collisions, as I said, we have to use the WASD buttons to move the hero all over the screen. The code checks for wall collisions. If the next cell is a wall, movement is blocked. If the cell contains a collectible, the score is increased. If the cell contains a power up, immunity is activated. Our immunity is activated for 3 seconds, and which even in that immunity we can also eat the enemies. Now I would also like, instead of code, I would like to also show the live version of the game. So here we go. So first of all, so as I'm explaining, I'll also play the game meanwhile. So enemy logic and collision has its own position, moves at a speed, changes direction while hitting a wall. Collision detects, checks whether an enemy and the player occupy the same grid cell. If the player collides with an enemy, or life is reduced. As you can see, if I go and collide with an enemy, my life is reduced. Or if immunity is activated, the enemy defeated and points are awarded. So to gain, I have not put the immunity in the first level, so as I want it to be as basics as it was given to the project. So let me complete the first level, then I can show you the what happens after we complete a level. So as you see, we have completed the level. A small pop-out comes out which says congratulations. So the design and the design is inspired from a YouTube channel. I've used a reference. Plus now you can see what happens when I add the green power up. When I add the green power up, the enemies became black, which help the player to eat the enemy and get an immunity. So as you can see, when I eat the green ball, I get an immunity. And after each completion of each level, a player life is increased. A player gets an extra life. So this, and there's a scoreboard on my side. After I entered my as I eat, the scoreboard is live updated and stored on a local storage. As you can see, Ganesh score point is increasing. The level of there are 10 levels in this game, and if all lives are lost, the game restarts. As you can see, I have lost all my life. The game has restarted. So to conclude, this code used the structured logic, reusable function, and data driven design to create a complete browser game. It's easy to extend, readable, and meets all the project requirements. Thank you.